As you guys can see up on the screen today, I wanted to talk a little bit about Digital World Acquisition Corp. I'm sure, as you guys all know, this is the first and kind of biggest of the Trump stocks to hit the market. You know, the first one that was actually trying to go public. The Trump Media Group, TMTG, the Truth Social Media, all this stuff is involved in this Dwac SPAC that is in the process of going public. They are valued at almost a $2 billion market cap at this point. And yes, there is a bunch of branches off from this. You know, there's Fun and there's CFVI and there's Mark and all these other Trump stocks, but this is kind of the main one. This is the one that's going to dictate how the other ones go. If this one's up big, usually the rest are going to follow. If this one's a little bit more uneasy, if this one's down, usually the other ones are going to follow as well. But obviously a very, very good week here. You can see up 23% for DWAC on the week, but a very, very good day. And this is why mostly I want to talk about this one right now. DWAC was up 16.5% today. And then after hours, still up another 1.5% for, just an amazing day overall for DWAC when things were a little bit uneasy. People were kind of starting to wonder what was going on, not only with just DWAC, but with all the Trump stocks in general. But we'll be getting all into all of that in this video today. Definitely drop a like if you guys do enjoy it. I would appreciate it a ton. And subscribe to stay up to date on all my latest content. With that being said, let's get right into this. So, year to date, obviously very, very good. 413% gains for DWAC. When the first announcement came out, things went really, really crazy. We got up to a 52-week high of $175. Obviously, some of that was maybe getting ahead of ourselves a little bit. Some of that was people getting a little bit too excited. Some of it was, people short squeezing or saying whatever. Things have cooled off a little bit since then, but still, from where we were at of $10 that this SPAC was before to being at $51 now is still very, very impressive to a lot of people, and people are really, really happy and excited. And depending on where you bought in, you still might be down. Depending on where you bought in, or if you've been buying the dips or whatever, you might be having a very, very good week, month, whatever. But again, one of the reasons why people were a little bit uneasy or a little bit skeptical of just what was going on with this Trump SPAC was the news coming out that the Trump SPAC was under investigation by financial regulators. DWAC says the SEC and FINRA have requested information on stock trading and communications related to its deals with the former president's company. The publicly traded company that plans to merge with former President Donald Trump's media company is under investigation by two federal regulators. That's never a good sign. That's never fun. Even if you don't get, a fine, or you don't get in any trouble, or you don't get any, regulation slapped on you or whatever, even just being under investigation causes some uncertainty and doubt in the market and with investors. And that's not what people are looking for. That's not what people want to put their hard-earned money behind most of the time. So it can be scary, and people, want to see what's going to go from all of this. They want to, have that confidence one again. They want a conclusion to the whole situation. They don't want to see this dragged on forever, for better or for worse. DWAC disclosed in a SEC filing that it had received certain preliminary fact-finding inquiries from the FINRA in late October and early November regarding stock trading tied to the merger agreement announced on October 20th. Separately, the SEC asked for information related to meetings of the company's board of directors, information on investors and communications, according to the filing. The company said the filing should not be construed as an indication that either agency has concluded anyone violated the law. Spokespeople for DWAC and Trump did not immediately respond Monday to requests for comments. They're kind of trying to downplay it a little bit. They're trying to say, hey, they're just kind of wondering what's going on. They're not saying anything wrong has happened just yet. Maybe they investigate it and find that something wrong has happened, but don't panic yet. Don't start selling out. Don't crash our stock. Don't lose all this hype. Don't think we're scamming people, whatever. That's what they're trying to say. They're trying to instill some of that confidence back into people. So I'm sure they can keep making a ton of money, so they can stay in the headlines. And they can also just stay in, the positive sentiment and good graces of investors, the market, people in general. If you want to be a successful business, you need people thinking well of you, at least to some extent. And again, that was on Monday, obviously, and coming into Monday and Tuesday, people were like, oh, what's going to go on? How is the stock? How is the market? How are investors going to react to this? And the stock market's been doing pretty good as a whole this week, so it's not surprising, there might be a little bit more speculation, a little bit more excitement, a little bit more bigger jumps in the market, and DWAC was obviously a benefactor of that. Obviously, being up 16.5% today and another 1.5% after hours, this thing just shot up like crazy. It obviously is not caring too much about these SEC investigations, these FINRA investigations, whatever. People must not be too worried about that. Now, again, tides can change, news can change. Maybe if some bad news starts coming out, maybe if the SEC starts getting a little bit more skeptical, maybe they start asking more questions or even hinting at, possible, penalties being levied out or whatever, things could turn around quick. But for now, it seems like the market is not too worried about it. If we go to the Dwac stock subreddit, a lot of positive sentiment, a lot of people being very, very excited. One of the pinned comments here is that the SEC and FINRA will find no wrongdoing. It seems like Pocahontas and Democratic-leaning regulators are making me work overtime. Another complete breakdown of what's going on and why this is all nonsense. FUD busting. So, if you want to check that out, know that is on the Dwac _ stock subreddit. Kind of funny. This guy's being very, very confident, obviously saying the SEC and FINRA will find no wrongdoing when I'm sure he probably has no idea, but it is funny. Some of the posts today are the Truth Social is going to make Facebook look like MySpace. If they're able to do that, hey, they are going to be able to make a lot of money, and that's just kind of what some of the supporters or bulls or maybe even super bulls or perma bulls or I don't know what the right word would be. Maybe what the bull case is for a stock like this, in case anyone was wondering. We do have obviously the news, that Dwac passed the $50 barrier again today. One of these big psychological barriers that people are very, very excited about. Dwac over 51 in spite of the SEC. Investigate that, you corrupt bastards, which is a very, very funny post. This post does go into, notice how retail investors scream at the top of their lungs for a year about naked shorts with AMC and SEC does absolutely nothing about it. But one whisper from Pocahontas about Trump's Dwac, and they're all over that investigation. Pretty easy to see who owns those corrupt mother effers. And I do think that is definitely interesting. No matter whose side you're on, if you love Trump, hate Trump, love Dwac, hate Dwac, love truth, hate truth, whatever, it is kind of interesting, the SEC would be looking into some of this stuff when, yes, very clearly the AMC GameStop stuff happened right in front of our eyes. Maybe they looked into it a little bit, but in the end, a lot of people got screwed over in that situation, and definitely some very, very shady stuff went on. This kind of seems like the stuff that they're wasting their time with more. So that's kind of interesting. A lot of people saying, yes, $51, really, really celebrating, really getting hyped up and excited. And again, that's always good for a stock because if it has a cult-like following, if it has people who are going to be willing to buy any dip up like this guy, saying you get used to it. I don't even see dips anymore. All I see is 5, 10, 15% off. That's definitely going to help the stock price. Maybe that doesn't keep it inflated forever. Maybe that doesn't keep it up forever, but it's not a bad thing. It's not going to hurt, share appreciation or at least the potential of share appreciation in the future. And obviously we know Trump has, some kind of crazy following as it is already. And then the stock market people who have a chance to make money off of it now too. Obviously, there are people who are very, very skeptical and wanting to be careful of the whole Trump and dump phenomenon, but that is what's kind of going on. This guy's saying, how many of you are going to be your first millionaires in your families from this stock? Dwac to the moon. Obviously, some people, warning that Dwac is the most shorted SPAC. Brokers don't restrict short sale for no reason because when it does squeeze, the sky is the limit. So people are even saying that this is potentially a short squeeze play as well. Really, Dwac is getting a ton of hype and excitement from all different kinds of angles, and it's going to be really, really interesting to see how it all plays out. But I mean, today, so far, so good this week. Again, up 16% on the day. I think like 23% on the week. If you were buying the dips, if you've been consistently holding and buying into Dwac, you're doing pretty good at least this week. We'll have to see what the future has in store. And we'll have to also see if True Social Media actually starts putting out a product, starts getting some users, starts actually generating some numbers, some revenue, some money, all that stuff. Right now, it's a lot of talk. Right now, it's a lot of promises. We'll have to see how it all comes to fruition. But again, so far, so good for Dwac and a lot of the other Trump stocks involved this week. But that is pretty much it for this video today, guys. Definitely drop a like if you did enjoy. I would appreciate it so much. Leave a comment down below. Let me know what you think about Dwac or any of the other Trump stocks. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and opinions. Subscribe, save today, and all my latest content. Hopefully catch you guys in the next one. But until then, peace.